So, good morning. There's something. When I say something, it's not like the clouds or like a regular airplane or something like that. In the skies at the observatories, and it's not just the observatories, it is all over the world. I really cannot see any reason why these massive ships would be only at the observatories. Good morning. Only at the observatories going to and fro. I really don't see any reason why they would be there like that and that be the only place they're at. Last night, of course, it was the third time in a row. I showed some UFOs at the observatory. The first one was on November the 2nd. It was a massive black ship. It was the biggest one so far in bulkiness and stuff. And then on November the 3rd, during a rainstorm, there was another long black cylindrical ship that was docked at the telescope itself. It's like a portal was opened up under the guise of rain, which we know it was not just rain. It was a long black ship. I did a video showing what the observatory looked like at that part. Uh, there was a door, a secret door that appeared to be open that was not there before. And as the one long black ship was docked, you could see the off ramp. When people get off planes, they lower the off ramp. That was going into the doorway area. And then last night, the cylindrical shaped UFO or ship, it was white. There was lots of them coming straight down with the other one right beside it. It's a smaller, slender one. And that didn't have no parachute like the rockets that come down that look like that. From space. Normally have parachutes. This one don't. So if it didn't have parachutes on it, then that means it would have went down in the ground. If it was just something to be dismissed, then it would have caused a massive explosion. Um, what really happens is a shaft opens up and they go down into the earth. And if you didn't see these videos, there's 3 of them. I've been touching on them. I've been focusing on them. If you didn't see them, I would urge you to go. And for those who say, "Well, can you help me find out the site where that's at?" I don't know where it's at. Can somebody please tell me? In the description of the video itself, I tell exactly where it's at, and we often, 99.9%, we will go to that direct site, the CFH live webcams at the observatories. Okay, and you can even pause the videos that I do and you can read where it's located at and go there. All it takes is just a little bit of effort on your behalf to search and find because you will find it. Um, so, yeah, during that video last night, you all, there was first there was a long white ship that came from the one side of the video, of one side of the sky. And it was probably, I don't know how long. Some people say these are miles long. It was a white one. And then as the time progressed, this is throughout the whole entire day. It started at 8 in the morning, around 8 in the morning when you could see the ships. Good morning. And then on the other side, there was a great big, massive, not just one, but 2 long, black, jagged looking ships. They weren't a straight line. No, they had different levels to them, different layers, different mass to them. They had a different structure. And we watched it going across. It was, I can't even tell you how long it would have been up there in the sky, but it went literally right in front of that one telescope. I think it was the south view last night that we looked at, straight in front of it. And as there was 2 other ones that came the opposite direction. They were black, and they had white, long white ships on them. And some people say, Gina, honey, are you sure that ain't clouds? It's not clouds. It's not. Something's going on. Something massive is going on. And you all know it. You can feel it. You know something was coming. We've been feeling something was coming for several months. Something's coming. And I think that something is here. If that something is here relates to these big black ships, big black UFOs, then so be it. But what force is behind it? And if we have like something, some big black UFOs or ships that, don't mean humanity any good, then there's bound to be other ships that do mean humanity, who are looking out for the good of humanity, because now you've got a force that has showed up interfering with things that happen on this earth. And then you have another force out there, and some of these are interdimensional that literally come into our dimension that say, okay, you have interfered and we cannot allow you to do that. Okay, you can't. Um, so we've got the let's help humanity, and we've got the let's destroy humanity. We've got two opposing forces, and these two opposing forces may not be alone in their endeavors. They each may have groups of like-minded with them, both of them, but something's going on. There's ships at the observatories, big, long black ships and other size ships, and some of them are interdimensional. And good morning, you all. Interdimensional, and some of the ones, like the cylindrical shape that are coming straight down, they're going down into the ground. And what is in the ground? Okay, there's talk of a civilization in the ground. There's talk of underground bunkers in the ground, underground facilities in the ground. We have, like in Cheyenne Mountain, deep underground and stuff, they got tunnels all over the world that connect certain parts of the world together, and they can travel to and fro subterranean complexes. And I'm sure that humans are down there, and other type of species are down there. Someone said, Gina, how can you, how can, more or less, how can a Christian or someone who reads the Bible or someone who believes in God or a higher power believe in UFOs and speak about them and aliens? I'm doing it. I am doing it. Speaking about it. Don't you know that they're demons? They're demons? Um, no. I think demons are on the earth. I really do. And are there some malevolent beings in the skies also? Yes. Are there some benevolent beings in the sky also? Yes. Are there benevolent beings on this earth? Yes. So, yeah, I'm going to cover what I'm covering because that's what I feel led within my spirit to cover, regardless of what anyone else thinks, regardless. And I'm addressing some of these questions. I looked at some comments this morning and I commented. Someone said in the Quran, they speak about aliens in the Quran also. They do. And there was someone who dropped the verse. Y'all, let me address some comments about what's in the skies and stuff in the realm other than humanity, other humans, other life forms, gods and goddesses, and all of this stuff that people say, oh, it's make believe, it's a myth. No, it's not. There's something in our skies. There's something going on. Um, You hid and you didn't have your phone on me. Okay, so yeah, if you've seen stuff, you are hello, Applebrooks, honey. In the Psalms, go look at the comments section. They've literally slowed the comments down to my whole entire channel, like every 7 minutes for all the videos on my channel. I see a comment within every 7 minutes. The traffic has been slowed enormously down on this channel. I thought, now I've got to come over here and wake up that algorithm and get the traffic flow, because they're trying to suppress the information that I'm sharing you all. I'm sure it happens to other channels, but I'm trying to get out the information of the UFOs and what's happening in the skies. The Psalms 82, and it talks about gods, the gods and their children. And it talks about God and coming before the assembly. I'll read it, Psalms 82. And Proverbs is my favorite book, and I would often read it during church as a child, as they were preaching. And so I loved to read it over and over, and it continued as I became an adult. I read it to my children, my favorite book. And I responded to that comment. I said that, let me show you. You know what I said? I said, I remember bits and pieces of that particular psalm, but perhaps I only remember the words that I focused on. And when I reread it, oh, I have a different a different focus on different words. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's what I said to my inside my being. You know, I got to fix my chair. It reads different. We're not alone, you all. There's a lot more at work. There's a lot other beings, higher developed beings that have more than interest. You know, like the Tower of Babel, how they tried to build a tower all the way up there. And then you have the Inky and the Enlil. Then you have the Sumerian tablets. You have all of this history and stuff. You have it all. But there's something in our skies. That's not what I'm supposed to be talking about. I'm supposed to be talking about the UFOs in the skies at the observatories, you all. I am, and they're here. At first I thought, why are they going completely back and forth in front of that telescope, in front of the telescopes? Why Hawaii? It's like it literally is a hotbed now, a total hotbed for UFO activity. To have that happen. You know, let me get this here. Let me try to, sometimes my computer, even when I get ready to do live streams, can you all hear me? When I get ready to do live streams at times, 2 nights, I go to push the button. Look at this. I go to push the button on my stream deck right here, and I can push the button, and it, boom, puts me live when I go onto YouTube. But on November the 2nd, when I had the big bulky UFO, black UFO by the side of the observatory, I had everything set. I put in my information. I pushed the button and it wouldn't even respond. I pushed it and it wouldn't even respond. It made me restart my computer, sending me a message. And then last night, the same thing. I logged in, I put all my information, I go to push the live button. No, I had to reboot my computer. There is an interdimensional force that does not want me to share what I'm sharing. There is, and they have control over the technology also. They can interrupt your technology. Believe it or not, they can, you all. I'm just telling you, they have the ability to do it. And why humanity? Why is humanity so important, you all? Why? See, look at this, you all. Let me show you. I just want to show you this one thing that was shared on the YouTube this morning. And I know I've read this verse plenty of times. It's Sunday. This is your Sunday verse. It's your Sunday chapter, your Sunday reading for you. If you didn't go to church, we're going to have a little church right here. If you like poetic stuff like this, this is your poetic reading. I read you a thing this morning. Yeah, I'm having a hot flash. Got to get this jacket off now. I got myself all worked up. You all had the phone straight down. Okay, I got it. I got it going. You are we going to have a sermon? Yes, we are. So look at this. So Psalm 82. God standeth in the congregation of mighty. He judges among the gods. What are you talking about? He judges among the gods. What gods? I only thought there was one God. That's what I was brought up to believe. And if you were in church, you were taught there was only one God. But there's not. He standeth in the congregation, yeah, I'm sorry about this, among and judges among the gods. How long will ye judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked, Selah? Defend the poor and the fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and the needy. Deliver the poor and needy. Rid them out of the hand of the wicked. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. I have said ye are gods, and all of ye are children of the Most High. But ye shall die like men, and fall like one of the princes. And arise, O God, judge the earth, for thou shalt inherit all nations. So he sits in the he stands in the congregation of the mighty, and he judges among the gods. So that was that. That's all I wanted to read. It was it. So yeah, did you know it said that? Among the gods. And then thou shalt have no other gods before me. But that ain't what we're talking about. We're talking about these ships at Hawaii, you all. They're in the skies. They're all over the place. They are all over the place, you all. And I'm trying to get to my one thing, and you all. This is a low rate morning thing. That's right, you all. A low rate. So who is this? Who is this, you all? They say this is there's people who hold to the thought that this is the creators. The Enki, the Enlil, the Sumerians, the ancient gods of old. They do. Do they exist and someone on earth don't want us to know? Do they? Hello. So last night, if you missed it, you all, this was the observatory last night. I want to recap last night. One among many. This came straight down out of the sky, just like that, at the observatory. And you can see there is no parachute. And if it went straight down, it would have to explode or go into a shaft inside the earth. That's what it should have done. But there was no parachute. It went straight down. Now, mind you, these right here, these particular type of cylinders, there were many of these in the sky, many. Someone said, Gina, are you sure those weren't meteors coming down out of the sky? I know the one was a cylindrical shaped ship, but are you sure those other ones aren't meteors? Oh yeah, I'm sure they're not meteors because they're documented all over the world, all around the skies of the world, you all. And it's not just during meteor times, and they were all the same size. Are meteors going to be the same size, are they going to have the same bulkiness and same, composition? Are they going to look all the same? No, they're not going to be identical. Y'all, look at this from the ground up. See, look at this. It's a beautiful observatory. It really is. I love the roof on it. But then this comes straight down. So this is a recap because there's something going on in the skies. And I did not, look, these have been showing up too. Black cubes like in the sky. They just show up out of nowhere in the skies around the world, you all. They do. So I'm going to try to show some of the main ones. This also was a ship. I didn't drop into this one, you all. This was the North View. The North View yesterday, it had a lot, but this is a ship. It had so much cloud cover there. You couldn't even make anything out. You couldn't. at all. I tried and I thought, just forget it. You want to stop me. You think I'm going to the north. No, I'm going to go to the south. This time I go to the south, you all, I do. If you were to look in here, this is another large black ship right here. I did find one, but I couldn't bring it out, so I didn't show it. Hello there. Everyone, welcome. Um, it's like this down here too. Ships. This is the north view, and I do apologize for doing this with my cell phone. I do. I got a lazy streak in me this morning. Y'all look right here. Also, over here, there's things over here too, but this is a ship. The ships that went in front of the observatories, they were long and black like that, but they were much more massive, than that. I'm gonna try to get over here to the one thing from last night. This right here, this is like a, watch this. This is like a, not that one, Gina. It's like a interdimensional. This is a cloaked flying saucer, like right there. It was like perfectly round and stuff that showed up. That was in the north view. Yeah, so, and another, this is a white ship right here too. You can see it, white ship, observatory. The skies are loaded, and the clouds around there are, they're very telling. Okay, they're very telling. So let's look at this. So this was the other day. This is what the observatory would look like right here without a ship. You see no door. There's no door. There's no ship. This was the day before. And this is the third. This is a door down here. And a portal was created. There was a portal, and there's a long black ship. And again, see, you can see over here, this is a recap. No ship, nothing. But then there's a ship right there. And there is hard for some to believe that such a thing exists. It is. Because let's face it, shouldn't have ships docked at the observatory, interdimensional ships, but we do, and we have a doorway and a ramp from the ship right there. If you want to see a clearer image, you go watch the video, because I did a share the screen. I didn't do this at all. I didn't. So we had that one. Okay, we did. And there was also a structure. I don't know what this thing was that appeared too right there. And I didn't show this one. It was some type of a structure that came out of a portal. Could even been a doorway that opened up too. There's so many portals being opened up, and there are those who may not believe in portals or things like that, but I'm sure it doesn't matter. There's lots of us who do believe in it. Okay, there are. So look at this. So we've got this. We've got this one right here on the side of the observatory. And then this is what we had. This appeared on the 2nd of November at the observatory. And this over here, the 3rd of November at the observatory. That's 2. And I believe that if they did not want to be seen, you would not capture them. Okay, you would not capture them. You would not even get anything if they did not want to be seen by humans. That's right, you all. If they did not want to be seen by humans, you all was wearing that shirt that day. And so you can see it right there. It is really undeniable. Totally undeniable what we're looking at. Unless you want to be in denial, then that's your prerogative. You go ahead and you be in denial. Okay, go on. You can, but there is something going on at the observatories in Hawaii. They're in the skies. It seems like Hawaii is a hotbed. A hotbed is what it appears to be. And look at this. So this is a plasma ship at the Eiffel Tower right here. that I had documented right there at the Eiffel Tower. And they do exist, you all. For those who think that they don't, they do. Um, this is when we were this is when we were surfing the internet and capturing plasma. We was doing our plasma webs and plasma stuff, plasma ship, interdimensional. Um, right there at the Eiffel Tower. I've got lots of documentation. Someone left a comment. You should go to Mr. BB33 because he's an expert. He has a very good reputation. He talks about this right here, whatever it is I was sharing about the UFO. He has a very good reputation, and he said you should go there and do that. So, yeah, this is what I started off doing, you all. This is right here. 2 suns. And I was doing this right here. This is what I was trying to capture in the sky back in 2018 in the summer. And it's when the sky, storm clouds came in the sky, not on this particular date. It could have been, but I don't know. There was lots of clouds that started to form. And in the southwestern sky, 2 massive columns that look like gigantic cliffs, they formed and they went together, and it started getting really stormy looking in the sky, and then they opened up, and out of them came a massive winged being. I thought it was hang gliders with a costume suit, but this is what I was filming at that time in 2018. Their wingspan were 20 to 30 feet wingspan. They had human bodies. They had black suits on. Their wings were black, except for the bottom part of their feathers. They were reddish orange, and on their waist was reddish orange cummerbund, looked like lightning bolts on their jagged on their waist. And then from their ankle-like area to their foot, it was reddish orange. The first massive one came out, and I realized, no, that ain't hang gliders. And I had my phone trying to film it, and I couldn't do nothing. I couldn't push the button. My phone was disabled. Then another one came out, and then a total of around 6 or 7 total flew out of the chasm in the sky, flew right over my head, and they were not that far up at all, you all. They were only as high as the treetops, and they got to the edge of my property. They flew fast, and they disappeared in the sky. This is what I was filming back then. The 2 suns right there. I was all into it. I really was all into it. But that's what happened with that. Flew right over. So this is back in 2018 is when that happened. 2018. So there is something in the sky. And I thought, is that the Thunderbirds? I didn't know anything about the Anunnaki or anything, you all. In 2018, I was thrust into this area, into this UFO community. I was thrust right into it. And I was supposed to document everything I could document. And I've been doing it. I'm documenting everything. I am. Everything that I'm led to document. And it's okay. It's all right. Yeah. It's fine. It really is fine. So the observatories in Hawaii, you all, there's something going on. Did these gods exist, you all, really? Do we have other, Gina, what on earth? See, this thing messed me up, you all. It messed me up on here. Let me try to get down to what I was going to. We have Hercules. Hercules was said to have superhuman strength. Okay. What about these? What about these? Are these just myths? Are these just myths, you all? Are they? Are they just myths? I don't think they're just myths. I don't. They existed. Totally existed. So, now this right here, these aren't clouds right here. This is when I was coming off my lunch break in the southern sky of I-65, headed toward Jeffersonville, Indiana. Layers upon layers of these, look like big snakes layered all around the sky, you all. Everywhere I look, this layer of clouds, this layer of clouds, this is what the sky looked like. I tinted it, but yeah, it was all around. I thought, that's not normal clouds, and it's not. Inside of here, are ships, and I thought, are there ships inside of here? That's what I said to myself. And then I tried to look at them. I tried to compare them with my ships. These are my ships. And I thought, can I see my ships in the clouds? And this is an actual picture of the sun with some type of ships. And I'm thinking, are these like my ships? And if we come over here, I can see that there are ships right here. This is clearly a ship. This is a close-up view. They're in the sky, you all. They're in the sky. This is like around 2018 to 2019 when this image was taken. This is this right here, close-up next to the sun right here. And if this right here are these, then so be it. But I did not get a good feeling when I saw this, you all. I didn't. All around the whole entire sky, I didn't get a good feeling. I know I'm supposed to be talking about ships, or I am. The ships in Hawaii. Okay, let me show you. So I call these light ships right here, and they're light ships. This is the images that I got of them with my camera, with my iPhone 8 and my clip-on lens, you all. This is those ships. They're interdimensional. This is those ships in the inverted mode right here. Inverted mode. What happened? In the inverted mode. And this is those in the edge detect. Right here, you can see it's detecting the whole edge of all the structures up there, the ships, is what it's doing. And they're pretty cool. The edge detect of the ships, and they're long ships, is what they are, completely long. And they came in by the thousands. First there was a few, and then they kept coming, and they kept coming, and they kept coming. This is back in 2018, 2019. I documented for 2.5 years straight, every day, 3 to 4 times a day, of these ships, okay? And we've got long white ships that go in front of the observatories in the skies, and they're in the clouds, you all. Ships are in the clouds at the observatory. I don't know who those other black ships are. I have no idea. Do I like them? I don't know if I like them. I really don't know if I like the other ships at all. I don't. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. It is. So look, you all. Winged beings. Winged beings. And animals that can, walk. I think we're having a merging of timelines. I do. The past is entering the present. Well, it's obviously happening. So if you're just tuning in, I'm going to end this video. It don't have to be long. It doesn't. Doesn't have to be long at all. Doesn't. Oh, Gina. Yeah, I'm trying to scroll up this screen. Yeah, I get myself distracted. So I'm going to just recap. At the observatory, there are there's ships. They're coming down like that. And this is what it looks like. Well, this is, I put a short video on the Facebook so they could come over to the big video and see share the screen. This is the long black ship, you all. We did take a screenshot. This is how big this ship is. If you didn't watch that video, you wouldn't have seen. The ship is right here underneath, all the way across to there. And there's the observatory. That tells you how big this ship is. And I would move my picture around to show when somebody says I can't see it. Well, there was no reason why you couldn't, because I put my picture right on top of it. These ships are in the clouds right here. That's right, they're in the clouds. That's when a lot of clouds come in and they try to obscure it. Who's making the clouds? Let's ask ourselves, who's making these clouds to obscure these ships? Who is responsible for covering up these ships in the sky so no one will see except us? We saw them, we found them. Why? Because we took a time-lapse video from the observatories, which was a whole entire day compressed down into 1 minute, and we slowed it down and went frame by frame. That's how we found that ship. It was an hour and 10-minute video last night, but we found the ship. Had we just wanted it to be given to us and not work for it, no, you're not going to find it. You can't just expect things right there, have it given to you without you doing the work. It don't work that way in this life if you haven't figured it out. It doesn't. You got to work for it, you all. You do. You got to put forth the effort to find these things, because if you don't, it's not going to go well with you, you all. This is a massive black ship. And this was toward the latter half of the video when this appeared right there. They're all around the world. They're not just at the observatories, you all. They're not at all. And there were some, let me just say this, there were some who were trying to, well, you can't really dismiss this right here. Well, you can if you want. This right here ship on the 3rd of November, it's docked right there, you all. It is, it's docked. But that long black ship, that just, wow. It really was a wow moment, is what it was. So, no ship, no door, ship and a portal, and then there's a door. And there's a ramp, an off-ramp, to get out of the ship and go into this. Someone said, Gina, do you think that these observatories, these telescopes, underneath them, there's entrances to the underground? I thought, wow, that's a wonderful thought. And that's very, very likely. They go underground, completely underground. Look at that. It's what it looks like. And boom. We're just recapping, and I'm going to end this video because it don't got to be long at all, you all. It don't. It's not going to be long. You can go check on those videos, you all. You can. And you can see it. You'll see it's this video like this. Right like that. Do I like what I'm doing? I love what I'm doing. I really do love. Someone said they didn't want to watch the video. They didn't want to watch the video at all. That's the mountain. That's the mountain. That's not a ship. That's the mountain. That's what someone said. That's the mountain. That's not the mountain. See, they're trolls. There are some who, at the very thought of UFOs like this, it literally terrifies them, because all they remember, because they watch a lot of sci-fi, the aliens that invade the earth, the species and stuff, they're filled with fear. Total fear is what's happening. Filled with fear, and they can't accept it. They don't want to accept it, but it's when reality hits you in the face, because they're going to come out completely. The good ships and the bad ships. They're going to come completely out. And then you're going to have reality stuck right there, but you're not going to be able to pull that reality off your face. You're not. So, yeah. that's what I want to say. There's something in the skies, and even today, my skies outside, they look like they're blue, but there's airplanes flying very low in the sky. There was an airplane that flew over the house, and I was sitting in front of the fireplace with my husband, and it was so loud, and I ran out onto the porch. It was some kind of plane that flew in a flight path directly over the length of my house. He said, "Was it a commercial airline?" I said, "I don't know." Well, he said, "Was it a military?" I said, "No, it wasn't a military. It was an unmarked plane. It flew low over my house. It was a big plane too, and it was kind of skinny. That flew over my house this morning. I thought, why are you flying over? There's no clouds up there. I can see the sky." And then a Southwest airline, it flew low in the southwest sky, very low. They don't normally fly that low, you all. Something's in the sky, something's going on. And with the influx of ships at the observatory, I've never seen them before. I haven't, you all, like this. I haven't. And that should not be. That should not be, but it is. It is. And the scientists, what gets me is there's two vehicles right here, and two men come outside and they stand. This is at 3 in the afternoon. They stand right here and they watch that ship in the sky, and they are hush hush. They watch that ship in the sky, and so does this Jeep right here. They stand there and they watch it. And it was here for at least 15 minutes. Do you think they thought the camera turned it on? What if you all, let's think about this. This is a good thought. What if some other type of species, a good species, someone who's watching out for humanity, they had the ability to get that camera, to get that at that moment in time so that we could see it, so it could that's their way of helping humanity see what's in the sky. A good force, a benevolent force, even though these scientists down here may not have known that the camera would catch it, but someone took control of the camera and they allowed us to see this. That is what I think happened. Someone's watching out for us. Someone is giving us the heads up that something is here, because this whole area was obscured in those clouds until a certain period, and then boom. It didn't last long at all. It didn't last long at all, you all. It didn't. I think that's what happened. It was meant for us to see it. That's what I feel within my spirit, or I would not have been drawn to it at all. I would not have, but it was meant. And you've got to be on that frequency. Someone said, Gina, let me talk about frequency. When I share, I am literally in a certain mindset. I am in a certain frequency. When I come on here and I do my videos, just like right now, I am totally focused because I got to be in the moment. I've got to have a clear mind in order to speak and remain on topic. Someone said, Gina, I've been following you for 5 years or 4 years, and I think you should look at the comments during your live streams and answer the questions from the people who have been following you for a long time. Well, if I am in the frame of mind that I'm in right now, and I am sharing like I have been, and I am completely focused, and I am in the documentation mode, and I have one track of a mind, no, I cannot allow that to happen, and I won't. I won't. I will not stop what I'm doing when I'm focused like I have been, and even right now, to stop everything I'm doing, look at the comments, wait for certain people to pop up, even though I don't even know who they are, and address their comments. I'm not going to do it. That's not me. I'm going to be led by my spirit. And there's more than a handful out there. I am in the documentation phase, and I have been for 4 years. I've got to stay focused. If I cannot stay on the frequency that I'm on, there's no reason for me to even be on here doing what I'm doing, you all. There isn't. I've got to stay focused. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to find these things and have a clear mind when I'm watching. Okay. I'm not. So this is what happens. So don't take it personal. There's a time for everything, but this is not the time. It isn't. I've got to share. And sharing sometimes means I'm not going to stop everything I'm doing and come to the comments and look for certain comments to answer. I'm not. I'm going to share, just like I'm doing now, you all. We're not alone. We're not. You all, please hit this like button. It's not easy at times for me to do what I'm doing, and I have learned that I have to draw healthy boundaries, and they're very healthy. They're very vital to what I'm doing now. And don't get bent out of shape. Don't get offended if I don't answer your comments. If I don't see your particular comment when I'm in the middle of a presentation. This is what like right now, I'm in the middle of a presentation. I'm talking and I'm sharing. And if I pause and I want to take time, that means, okay, I am, okay, it's okay for me to pause. But no, if it's not okay for me to pause, if I'm not at a point, I'm not going to. Yeah. So I wanted to address that too, you all. Now I can say that because there's something in the skies and we don't have much of a time frame. The window is really closing, and someone or something or a group of someones who are looking out for humanity wants us to know what's going on in the skies. They want us to know what's going on. And I want to do my due diligence. Thank you, U123881. I want to do, thank you. I like coffee at times. I love to have a nice coffee. I haven't had one from somewhere for a long time. I just have it at my house. Thank you. I want to document as much as I can. Okay, I do. I want to stay focused. Yeah, I'm in my zone. I got to stay in my zone. I do, you all. And I hope you understand. I know the majority of people understand, but there are some who don't. And I'm not going to stick to a certain narrative. I'm going to do this own narrative that's in my spirit. That narrative right here going to be led by my spirit. So I'm going to go. And y'all, if you want to know where these are located, you can go to the, I'm sure on here, said it many times before, I have, where this is located. This is located, all you have to do is, you can type in this right here, CFH Northview Telescopes, Hawaii. That's all you have to do. Just type in CFH Northview Telescopes, Hawaii. That'll pull it up. And you'll navigate there. You can navigate. I'm going to go. You're welcome, Jazzy, honey. You all, thank you for your comments. And I do like to, in the mornings, I like to go through all the comments. And at nighttime too. When I get a break, then I can like focus on the comments and see what's out there. And so I can address them. See, I addressed some of the comments, so I am looking at them when I get a chance. I am. But during times like this, no, this is serious. I'm working. I really am working. When I come on here and do these videos, I'm stopping everything that I'm doing. I'm coming up here, and then it's time for Gina to go to work. Okay, I am. So with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours, love you. Have a wonderful rest of your morning, you all. Please check those videos out. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. The news has to get out. And I know within my being, whatever it is that I share, it will reach whoever it's meant to reach. I know it will, regardless of any ploys to try to stop it. It will reach whoever it's meant to reach. Um, have a wonderful rest of your morning, you all. Love you, and thank you, Apple Brooks, honey. And if there's anybody else on here, thank you. Love you.